Hello, short notice live. Welcome to everybody that is coming in and anybody that is going to be watching the replay. It is greatly appreciated. I'm trying my best to get situated here, so just give me a second. Oof. Okay. All right. Okay. So this is a last minute live because I wasn't sure if I'd initially be able to do it or not. So um, this is something I've been wanting to do. Hold on, because my pillow is like all types of wonky. I'm trying to get adjusted. Thank you for being here, anybody coming in. So I know against popular belief, a lot of people want to continue on about who the real victims are in this situation. Thank you, everybody, coming in and for being here. I know. Well, thank you so much for being here. Shalima. Thank you so much. So I want to talk about something, and I know it's controversial, and I get that. There is, innocent until proven guilty. We all understand that, right? But I feel like what's getting lost here are these babies. Quinton Simon, he is the victim here. He is the one that's still out there. And teach their own as far as, hello, Susan, thank you for being here. Teach their own for, who wants to believe whether or not Leilani is truly responsible, or Danny, or Billy Joe, or whoever. Some people are in support of the protesters, others are not. Some people, it was like the same thing with Summer's case. There were some that were supportive of the Wells because, innocent until proven guilty. Some people supported the protesting there too. Well, and again, these are just my personal views and opinions. I am truly so mad at seeing what's happening to Quinton's case, because at the end of the day, everybody that was in Quinton's life, just like Summers, had a responsibility to these children. At the end of the day, somebody was supposed to protect these babies, and they didn't. You could place the blame on the babysitter for not calling police when they found the kids in the pool, which I'm still trying to wrap my heart. Oh, you're from the UK? Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm still trying to wrap my head around how that swimming incident happened. There has been talk where it said that, the babysitter's daughter found Quinton and his older brother in the pool. She somehow got a hold of her mom, and then they rescued, these kids out of the pool and took them home. My thing is, how, like, everything had to be aligned correctly for nothing bad to transpire that day. I mean, this isn't a little kiddie pool we're talking about, right? This is a full-size, large in-ground pool. The only thing I can think about is, were they maybe not necessarily in the water, maybe sitting on the step about to go into the water? I'm not sure. But for their age, they are not independent swimmers. They don't know how to tread water. They wouldn't know how to float. If anything, they probably want to, splash around and, make fun, and they can't touch the ground of that pool. So by all accounts, the fact that they didn't drown is amazing to me, okay? But I still don't understand how that all took place. Anyways, it's neither here or there, I suppose. But the point I was trying to make is that is one of the many occasions where law enforcement should have been called. It shouldn't have been Billy Joe. It shouldn't have been anybody else except for law enforcement. Law enforcement's the one that should have been called that day, because those children were not being watched, and that could have turned out to be a very different situation. There could have been two babies that were lost that day, right? And so many times something could have happened, and luckily it didn't. But your luck eventually runs out, and that's why we're here today trying to figure out where Quinton is. It is extremely aggravating to see the sympathizers when it comes to Quinton's case, because it is starting to mimic the sympathizers in Summer's case. And to me, it's not okay. Because at the end of the day, no matter how bad Billie Joe may feel, she was ultimately responsible for Quinton. She took legal obligation to have custody of Quinton. Therefore, legally, she had a duty to protect him from the one person he was supposed to be protected from, who she handed over to, and that was Leilani. You cannot tell me that she took these kids in custody because she had nothing better to do. Obviously, there was a reason for it. Sorry if I'm trying to figure out. I'm visually impaired, so I'm trying to focus, and I'm having a hard time figuring out where to look. Okay, I think I got it now. Finally. At the end of the day, I'm sure, Billie Joe feels horrible because she made a very poor choice, and her poor choice has cost Quinton his life, allegedly. And again, these are just my thoughts, my views, my opinions, my feelings. Everybody, like I said, is entitled to their own feelings and opinions about this, and all opinions are welcome as long as they're respectful. But at the end of the day, she was responsible for Quinton. She was responsible for his safety. She took that duty upon herself in the legal eyes of our system to protect Quinton and his brother. But as a grandmother, morally, she should have been protecting him. There is no excuse for that. You have Leilani out there acting a fool. I mean, this chick, she's tearing it up like, she's got no cares in the world. You couldn't tell me that was the same person that has a missing child, because I wouldn't have believed you if you told me that unless I saw it with my own eyes and heard it with my own ears. But that's what we're seeing here. She could care less. Billie Joe can have all the regrets in the world, but that regret is not going to bring Quinton back from wherever he is, whether that be the landfill or somewhere else. It's sickening to see people making a mockery of this child. There's a wish list out there. There's supporters out there. There's protesters out there, which the protesters, if it was being done for the right reasons and done the right way, I would 100% support it, but it's not. All it's doing is muddying up Quinton's case. These people that are going out there, they have ill intentions. All they truly care about are the clicks, the likes, the views, and lining their damn pockets. They want to make a big show out of everything. But by doing that and by people supporting them, you're helping destroy Quinton's case. The resources that should be spent on Quinton and bringing him home have to be spent dealing with the buffoonery that's out there. I mean, I don't know what the hell these people think they're trying to solve. They did the same thing in many other cases. Kylie Rodney's case was treated the same way. Summer's case was treated the same way. You know who doesn't have that kind of treatment? The ones that they can't make money off of. Lena Kill, Cody Bigsby, Michael Vaughn. Do you see any of those kids getting the coverage? Some of them are still getting coverage, but I mean the coverage that we see taking place here. No, because you know why? They can't poke in there and create chaos in order to get those views. There's no reason why people should be going out of their way to protest if they're not going to do right by this child. That's what this is supposed to be about. They claim justice for Quinton. They claim they want to be about Quinton. They want Quinton brought home. Hi, Punksy. Hello, my friend. Thank you for being here. They want to be, saying that they're doing these things for the right reasons, but their actions are proving otherwise. All the people and I'm going to throw Jody Sue in this category too. All the people that are supporting this, whether you guys are aware of it or not, you may think you're doing a good thing, but you're actually helping them destroy these cases. Unbeknownst to you, you think you're it's for a good cause. You think they're doing the right thing, but they're not. When these cases go to trial, think about the shitstorm that's going to be there. Think about all the resources that are, it's turning into a circus. Yes, absolutely, Susan. Think about all the resources that are being spent just to keep the protesters away, or to make sure that, like the neighborhood's okay because of all the buffoonery going on there. All those resources could be going to finding Quinton. They could be going to maybe another child that is missing's case. Just like in Summer's case, we saw all the buffoonery, all those resources that were spent trying to take care of, all the shit show that had happened on that hill. And what happened? Summer got lost in it. When I came to Summer's case, I was opened up to a whole new type of evil and inhumane acts that I never knew existed. Never, ever, ever. Yes, Punksy, I agree. It's worse. I learned something from Summer's case, from, coming onto Summer's case. She's the first child I watched. I learned that there was a whole another type of selfishness and evilness out there on YouTube that I had no idea existed. Summer's case was astounding in the sense that I never seen so many selfish and evil people in a missing child's life that wouldn't come forward even after her disappearance, even if that meant saving her life. It didn't matter because their secrets were more important. Now we're seeing this in Quinton's case. So much selfishness, so many people worried about covering their own butts. But where's that baby? Where is he? He's in a landfill. I mean, really think about it. The ones that are supporting this, Leilani, Billy Joe, the babysitter, all of them, they get to go to bed in a warm, soft, cozy bed underneath a cozy blanket. Quinton's out covered in trash. That's his blanket and that's his bed. They get to wake up, go outside, smell the fresh air, and feel the sun on their face. Quinton never will again. They will be able to celebrate their birthdays. Quinton's going to stay his age forever. He's never going to grow older. He missed Halloween with his siblings, just like Harmony, just like Summer, just like Michael, just like all these other kids that are out there that the focus is being taken off of. Billy Joe is not the victim here. Does she feel bad? Oh, absolutely. I do not doubt that in my mind. I'm sure she is really kicking herself in the butt right now. Same thing with the babysitter. I do not doubt in my mind. But they're not the victims. The only victim here is Quinton. The only person that needs to have so much focus on being found is Quinton. Because he matters. Cody Bigsby matters. But yet people in his family even, they want to support his dad. Excuse me? What about the little child? The little child who is still missing. Look at Harmony. She has a brother out there that will never, ever be able to grow up with his sister that he adores so much. And this is all because people in their lives decided to be selfish. Their lifestyle choices is what put these kids in this position. And the same thing applies to Quinton. If the opportunity didn't present itself, we would not be here today. He would have been trick-or-treating with his brother and sister, right? Think about that. If Billy Joe had custody of him because she knew that for whatever reason she knows that we don't, there was something that she knew that Leilani was not capable of taking care of those kids. She knew she had to protect them, but she chose to put them back in Leilani's care. And look at what happened. If that opportunity didn't present itself, again, we wouldn't be having this conversation. we would not be wondering if this baby will ever, ever be found. And it's so sad because so many people come out and say, oh, well, I saw this, I saw that, I heard this, I knew that. Okay, well, why wasn't nothing done? A little too late. This isn't going to bring any of these kids back. Same thing with Billy Joe. Shoulda, coulda, wouldas don't matter at this point, do they? Before Leilani had kids, she knew she was not stable. Okay. I mean, let's be honest, and I'm not trying to be mean, but there's a lot of untreated mental illness within that family. We can see it. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see what's been shown to the world. Now imagine what that child went through, what his brother went through, and his sister. And his sister's an itty bitty baby, and I get that, but still, that environment is the environment that he lived in and that they lived in. Just like people tried saying, well, of course the Wells are going to act the way they are because they have a child missing. If they really think that the Wells just started acting the way they did, please, that is not true. That did not happen overnight. There is clear, untreated mental illness and addiction all over that place, okay? That did not start because Summer got gone. That is not when that started. That is the life that Summer and her brothers lived. Just like this is the life that we see in front of us that Quinton and his siblings lived. And again, have sympathy for the grandma. That's fine. Everybody has their own right and their own views and opinions, and it's each our own thoughts, and I get that. But I can't stand behind supporting somebody who is responsible. Ultimately, at the end of the day, whether or not she had a hand in it, which I do not believe she did, so please don't take it as that way. She knew what she was doing. She knowingly put Quinton and his brother in harm's way. I mean, it's not like we're talking about them being at the babysitter, then all of a sudden, Leilani comes in, picks them up unbeknownst to Billy Joe, and something bad happened. That's not what happened here. What happened here is she handed them over to Leilani. She had Leilani in the same household as them. That's what happened here. It breaks my heart. Yes, Susan, it does. Have to jump up my. Thank you, Punksy. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you, everybody else coming in and anybody on the replay as well. Much appreciated. But yeah, and what makes it even worse is that there's people making money off of this tragedy. Quinton is a tragedy. What he's going through, this right here, the fact that he's missing is a tragedy. The fact that he had bruises on him was a tragedy. Whatever him and his brother went through, that's a tragedy. And people are lining their pockets with that. And that's not okay. And I get it. We all have creators that we love to support and we like and we want to stand behind. And, we want to help them advocate for these missing kids and stuff like that. But there's certain lines that shouldn't be crossed. You shouldn't be lining your pockets off of a child's tragedy. It's not okay. Because while they're lining their pockets, Quinton's still in a landfill. While they're lining their pockets and getting their clicks, views, and likes or whatever, shares, however you want to call it, sharing the videos or whatever, Quinton's still not being found. I get it. You want to bring attention to these cases, and that's great, but do it the right way. Same thing with the protesting. There's a right and wrong way to do it, and all they're doing is making a mockery of Quinton. And all they're doing is muddying up this case and wasting resources trying to control the buffoonery that they're putting there when those resources could be out there trying to figure out where he is. I mean, I really truly wonder, has anybody ever thought about any of these kids that we see this happen to, that if the BS wasn't there, would that child have been found? Could that child's life have been saved? That bothers me to think that something like this could actually prevent that from happening. And I hope it bothers other people because it should. There's no reason to go real life on these people. We are not the police. We are not investigators. Do we want to help? Absolutely, because we all want answers and we all want these kids found. But there's a right and wrong way to go about it. And when you're doing things like they're doing, that's the wrong way because you're taking away from the missing child. Lena Kill, no coverage. Hasn't had coverage in a very long time. I did an update a while back because, there's nothing new there. And I'm not saying that that's how it should be, but in a sense it should. You shouldn't make up stuff just to get the views and the likes and the subs or whatever. That's not what it should be. You should do the update, but don't make up BS clickbait in order to get that update out there. Don't go and have people spend their hard-earned money. Those who have limited incomes pinch every penny that they can to support these creators who are just out there destroying these cases. I'm not saying that Summer's not important because absolutely she is. She is as important as everybody else. But once Don and Candace get online, hopefully they don't, but if they do, that shit show's going to start all over again. Jody Sue's been still continuing it. She hasn't stopped. And she still has lots of views and followers. And for whatever reason, they are so blinded at what she is doing. She is not an advocate for Summer. Hell, she's not even an advocate for her own little, let alone the neighbor. And it's just truly infuriating because these kids are getting lost. Lena Kill, more than likely, is not even in this country, but she matters. She still matters. She's missing. And whoever has her didn't take her for good intentions. She matters. Same thing with Cody. Bella. Yes. Thank you, Bella. Same thing with Cody. He matters. It doesn't matter if there isn't an update on him or if, Corey's family is backing him up and doesn't think this, that, and the other. It doesn't matter. He's the victim. Look at Classic and Sincere. After the foster parents were arrested and all the stuff came out, all of a sudden, they were dropped. But they're still out there. Them babies are still not at rest. They're not at peace. Just because we know what happened does not mean they don't deserve to be found, just like Harmony. Their remains are out there. They will not truly be at peace until they are found and given a proper burial. And I truly do believe that. I believe all children need to be found. It doesn't matter what condition they are, if they are alive, if they're deceased, or if it's the remains we're looking for. Or if it's a needle in a haystack or a straight shot to finding them. They all deserve it. Look at all these years later and people still talk about JonBenet Ramsey and Maddie McCann. What about all the other kids that went missing around those times? Probably can't name anybody right off the top of our heads because they were sensationalized. They were sensationalized. They were exploited. They were put all over the place. And they became mainstream media. There are so many kids out there that need help. Bella, sweet Harmony, I'll never forget that precious face. Yes, absolutely. She reminds me, she's got that quirky little smile with her glasses in one of her pictures. And she always reminds me of like one of the Disney princesses when they're being goofy. I could see her as Cinderella. So cute. But yes, and welcome everybody coming in. But yes, it is so important that we try our best to get these kids back into the forefront. We have to be louder than the ones making the noise to take these kids and put them on the back burner. We have to be louder than Hawkins County, who doesn't want Summer found. We have to be louder than the protesters and the people trying to muddy up Quinton's case so he isn't found and justice isn't served. We need to be louder than Cody's family so that way we get answers for him, so that way his siblings know what happened to him, and that way he gets justice. Samaj Crosby, years ago, and she still has no justice, and she was stuffed in a couch. while her killer or potential killers walk free around other children. We need to put these babies first. Lena still should be front and center because Lena still matters. You know, there are a lot of channels out there who do really good work, and they focus on the kids. They don't focus on the drama. They don't focus on the buffoonery or any of that stuff. And they don't line their pockets off of these children's tragedy, most importantly. When you sit there and you take the time to attack your subs or other creators because they're in disagreement with you, that's not okay. These people are here. These subs, all of our subs, they're here for a reason. They're here because they obviously trust something that you say. They like what you have to say, or maybe there's a case you're covering that they really wanted to hear about, so they trust everything that comes out towards them. That's what they're there for. They're there for that, not to be taken advantage of, not to be shunned if they don't agree with you on something. Because then what happens? Then you have all these advocates for this person, whether it be a missing child or a missing adult, it doesn't really matter. Or if it's, you know, a murder case and, you know, they're advocating for the victim, it doesn't matter. But by doing that and criticizing them and making them feel some type of way, you're pushing them away from that case. Not just from you, not just from social media and YouTube. You're pushing them away from that case that needs exposure, that case that needs answers, and that case that needs resolution. And, you know, there's some stories I started doing. Sorry, I know I'm all over the place. My hand's getting tired. 1 second. To make money off of a missing child is wrong in every way. Absolutely, Bella. Absolutely. You know, it's one thing when you have creators who are, you know, like this is their full-time job. This is what they do. They do the research, their boots on the ground. They're, you know, coming out of pocket trying to get information and all that stuff. And they're doing it because they truly do care. They care about the victim. They care about making sure the family has a fair shake and isn't automatically accused, because that's where, you know, unfortunately, a lot of this stuff leads to, and all of our minds go to. You know, they always say, you look at the family first, right? So we're just automatically programmed to do that. And, you know, when they're doing stuff like that, that's fine. But to sit there and put clickbait like, oh, breaking news, I know where the boys are, like JLR did. Ugh. Anyways, but my point is, you know, putting stuff like that, they put things in the title to really make it seem like they got that scoop that everybody has been waiting for. And then all these people bum rush in to that channel, watch that video, hoping that there's finally an answer, only to get let down and find out they were misled. That's not okay. You know, there's people in this world who truly do cry at the end of the day with these cases. They pray for these babies. They pray for these children. They hurt inside. They're empathetic because they understand how sad it is. And then to sit there and see that kind of get tossed out the window because somebody wants to line their pockets, it's heartbreaking. I remember with Summer's case, the first time I saw snow on the ground, I cried. Like, it hurt, because all I kept thinking out was that baby's out in that cold. Whether she was a bag of bones or she was there herself, all I kept thinking about was, oh my gosh, she's out there. Same thing with Classic and Sincere. You know, it's just so sad. Ariel Sellers. I didn't even know much about her case, but wow, horrific. Horrific. Harmony. I mean, there's just so many of them. And little Michael Monkey Vaughn, he doesn't get barely any attention anymore either, because that sensationalism isn't there. There is a creator that stays on him, and that's True Crime with EVP. And I've always said, and I've told her multiple times, he picked her for a reason. She is his angel here because she is his voice. And that's how I feel about all these cases. We don't pick these cases. These cases pick us. And unfortunately, um, some people don't believe it that way, and that's okay. We don't all have to agree, but there's a reason that these cases ring out to us, whether it's an injustice thing or it reminds you of somebody you know or whatever. Whatever the reason may be, there's a reason that we're called to these cases. Jody Sue Brown is a perfect example of someone making money off a missing child yet doing nothing to help. Oh my gosh, Bella, yes. Oh, she oh she lit a fire under my ass like no tomorrow. And that's what made me finally do my channel, because I was so sick and tired of hearing about that, especially when it had come out that she had a shirt that she wore during the shirt that she was trying to auction off. And I was just, oh man, my mind was just so blown. Oops, sorry. My mind was just so absolutely blown. And yeah, like I said, she doesn't care about Summer. She doesn't even care about her own daughter, which is so sad. My heart hurts for Jody Sue's daughter. It truly does. And I truly hope that she can grow up and break the cycle and become a productive human being and do something good for herself, because she's in a bad position too, just because of Jody Sue. 1 second. Hi, True Crime with Sunshine. Thank you for being here. I agree it's wrong to make money off missing or murdered. So this is where I am torn. It costs money to make quality content. It costs money to have the ability to run proper background checks. Exactly. And that's why I'm saying, like, the people who are out there that are doing it for the right reasons, those aren't the ones I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that are showing up and making the noise and acting like idiots, and they're getting those clicks and views and everything. And I'm not going to name this channel or anything like that. I'm not gonna, I think it's called Docs or whatever. I'm not gonna do that. But I had went into a channel that which I thought was supposed to be talking about Quinton. And I was listening and listening, and then all of a sudden I see all this money flowing in. $50 here, $100 there, $50 here. And it was nothing about Quinton. I don't even think his name was mentioned one time, maybe one time in the beginning. But nope, nothing about Quinton. But I guarantee you over at least $400 was made during that live, because it brought in the people. And that to me, that is not okay. It's not. I'm not against anybody that goes out there and wants to bring awareness and fight for these kids. That is great. I understand, accepting donations to get better quality equipment or like studio equipment or stuff for like the people that, like truly want to help with this and the background checks and stuff like that. That's great. But those are also the same people that if their viewers disagree with them, they're not going to kick them out of chat. The ones that do that, that's not okay. The subs, like I said, they come to our channels for a reason. There's a reason they're there, and to take advantage of their kindness is wrong. It's just as bad as exploiting these children. You have people coming and hoping for either new information or maybe an update or even just an opinion, which is great. But that's got to be all the way around. It's got to be 100%. Like, you can't be okay with somebody saying one thing but not another person because they don't agree with you, and then all of a sudden they can't be in your chat anymore, or you find out that they were in the chat of another creator or channel or a supporter of another channel, and then all of a sudden you got people attacking that person. That's not okay either. Going real life is never okay. That's not what this is supposed to be for, at least not to me. I joined the true crime community because I wanted to help bring awareness. I wanted to help support people who brought awareness. And it was incredibly disheartening to find out all the people that I started off with Summer's case. I am down to maybe a handful now of who I watch, because that many people turned out not to be what I thought they were. Luckily enough for me, I never donated any money or anything like that. Um, but, my heart hurts for the ones that did underneath those false pretenses. And the ones that do it knowing damn well what that money is being used for, shame on you. You're just as bad as them. You are just as bad as that creator that's doing that because you're helping them exploit these children, and that is not okay. All right, hold on. I want to catch up on chat. Sorry. Oh, I missed a lot. Ooh, so sorry. So sorry. Okay. True crime with sunshine. It costs money to have Wi-Fi, internet, etc. I am literally fixing to leave to do some boots on the ground for Vlad, a case out in Florida. Very good. Bella. I work for Innocence Project, which is a nonprofit, but you don't see me on here begging for money. Content doesn't have to cost money. Exactly. Exactly, Bella. Let's see. True crime at Bella. I am a content creator and I make flyers, etc. for free. And yes, I spend over $100 a month just for edit apps and programs. Right. Right. Bella. It doesn't cost much money to run background checks. It's a monthly fee, which is minimal. Yes, flyers, they do cost money, yeah. Okay. True crime with sunshine. Not trying to be ugly, just saying that scamming, yes, that's wrong. I'd have had families offer me money and I refuse. I am not here for money. However, there are those that got teeth, cars, houses from. I create flyers for free, girl. Print them and ship costs. Thank you, True Bella. Thank you, True Crime with Sunshine. Thank you for what you do. Yes, absolutely. And I agree. Like for me, I'm on a fixed income. So I don't have the luxury of being able to do a lot of things I want to do. So, I do what I can do bare minimal. But I understand, like True Crime with Sunshine, you made that flyer for me for Ariana Fitz and it was amazing. And, you didn't ask for anything from it. And that was amazing. And I see your flyers all the time. You're up, ready, willing to do it. And you don't ask for anything. I know that. And that's what I'm saying. Creators like you, that is okay. Just like Nana and Nana's Angels. She is boots to the ground, going hard for Summer's case. So is, oh my goodness gracious. Oh, I'm so horrible. Smiley's World, another one going hard. They're going at Lawson, they're going at Hawkins County, they're going everywhere. And honestly, if they were to make money, it would be understandable because of what they're doing. But the stuff that the protesters are doing, I'm trying hard not to say any names only because I really don't want to get attacked. And I'm not trying to make any enemies. I want to do this peacefully. But you guys see it. You see the buffoonery out there and you see what they're doing. That is so wrong. So wrong. I will never, ever support that type of protesting or that type of awareness being brought to a child's case, because at the end of the day, they're not going to bed like us, really concerned about these children. At the end of the day, they're going to bed counting that cash that they got. They're going to bed making their next plan of what can grab the attention to get those views and likes in there. That's what they're doing. What we're doing is not the same. We are not in the same category. And that's why, like in the very beginning, when I made my channel, I said, I'm not a creator. I am just a pissed off sub who didn't like what she was seeing. But then I spoke to my sister, Crystal Medicine, and she goes, but you are a creator because you're bringing awareness. And now I'm finally okay with being called a creator, because after seeing what happened in Summer's case, the creator name kind of got a stigma put towards it because you were kind of looped in to the group of everybody that was exploiting Summer, like with the Jody Sues and other people that wound up on that hill doing nefarious bullcrap and befriending the Wells and stuff like that. That was just so hard to watch, and to be a part of that in that same label. I didn't want that. But you know what? I am okay now, because now I know I am a creator in the sense that I'm bringing awareness. And that's what I'm here to do. Whether it's me doing random lives, or it's me watching another channel and viewing their content, sharing it, liking it, putting up, the flyer posters on my community wall or on my own channel, that's still putting those faces out there. It's making these people stay relevant. It's making these kids stay relevant. And it's doing it the right way. And the only wrong way to really do it is when you're sitting there going back to a hotel room or going back to your house, rolling around, knowing all the cash you got that night when you put your head on that pillow. That's what's wrong about it. I guarantee you, just about everybody in this chat, by the way, thank you everybody for coming in that's here. I guarantee you there has to have been at least one case or another that has made you cry because of frustration, because of sadness, whatever, anger, whatever the case may be. But there's got to be at least one case where you've seen within the last year and a half that makes you sit there and put your head in your hands and cry and be like, what are they thinking? And that's why we got to keep doing this. We have to be louder than them. We have to be louder than them, but us being louder than them doesn't mean we have to do it their way. We can do it just like this. We can ask people to keep spreading the word, keep the faces out there, and to keep talking, because the more we talk, the more these kids stay relevant, and the chances of the ones making all that noise will get drowned out. And that is the best we can hope for, because there's really no way to stop it. Okay, I'm going to catch up on chat. Sorry, guys. Aw, thank you, True Crime with Sunshine at Bella Plain. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting. This chick has my heart at his Sally. Aw, good people. Thank you so much. I wish we, True Crime with Sunshine. I wish we could all get along and be a big family. Yes, I agree. Yes. Bella. Yes, this chick is real deal. Her heart is too sweet. Oh, thank you, Bella. Hi, Punksy. Welcome back. Oh, thank you, Punksy. You are an awesome creator. Punksy. I have to say, I got upset a while back because of the lies to the subscribers. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. True Crime with Sunshine. Amazing chick right here. Yes. Monkey Michael Vaughn. I can't count the tears. I have worked with Brandy since day one. He is my case. Yep. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like these cases are what picks us. We don't pick them. And Summer was my case that initially started this ball rolling. She made me know, or I should say, she made me realize that I had a purpose. And that purpose was to keep children's faces relevant. And I think the reason that her case bothers me, well, I mean, there's many reasons that her case bothers me, but there's so many people that are trying so hard for Summer not to be found. And I think that's why a lot of us push so hard for her. It's not because she was simply just no longer spoken about or anything like that. No, there's people making damn well sure that she's not found. And there's a lot of people. We're not talking one or two. I mean, when I said that this goes further, deeper, and higher than any of us think, I really feel that way. I truly do. And all the corruption and everything that's been coming out, I mean, that's proof. And even if Lawson's kid wasn't one of the RSOs out there, everything else before and after is still enough proof to know that if Summer were to be found, it would open up a can of worms that nobody would want to have to answer for. And I'm not saying that all these people had something directly to do with whatever has become of Summer. I'm just saying that she did not just bust open multi-generational SA in her family and in her community. I mean, she busted open a whole bunch of stuff that we are unaware of, and we probably will never know the totality of, because there are so many people just trying so hard to make sure she's not found. Honestly, I believe that's part of why Jody Sue does what she does too. I think Jody Sue is a very selfish heifer who has nothing better to do than to sit there and muddy up this child's case for whatever reason. Whether it's just pure, she wants to have the attention on her thing, or she's got something to do with it. She has been relentless since the very beginning. She's the only person who has been talking every day, still to this day, multiple times a day. And the funny thing is, she's still cashing in off of Summer's name. Still cashing in off of Summer's name. Because she has people, and I don't even understand how she has people fooled, but she does. She's got supporters. And that's not okay, because all they're doing is keeping her going. I really feel like the attention she gets, it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative, because it's about her. That's all she wants. It's about her. She doesn't care about anything else except for people taking the time out of their day to either talk about her or watch her videos, which is why I stopped. I don't watch her stuff unless I have to, and I haven't had to in a very long time, because I don't care what she has to say anymore. I could absolutely care less anything she has to say, because you know what? Her credibility went out the window months ago. Over a year ago, it went out the window, in my opinion. Okay, hold on. Just want to check here. Oop, where did that go? Harmony's case is what has me torn up. Yes, Bella. How does she, Jody Sue, get away with driving without a license? She has never had a license. What the heck? Oh, I didn't even know that. I don't think I didn't even know that. There's a lot of stuff that I miss on her because she makes my head hurt. Sorry, needed my coffee. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand how she's still able to. I feel like there should be some kind of, like, I don't know, law or something that prevents, like, creators on YouTube, like, from going as far as Jody Sue has taken things. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is it not, like, somehow impeding, I think is the word, impeding an investigation, or, like, you know what I'm saying, like interfering with an open investigation? Because I feel like it would be, because she created so much BS that the cops had to deal with. But let's be honest, the area that Summer's in, I mean, the law enforcement isn't really reliable out there, so I don't know if it would really have mattered, to be honest with you. Ali Lunta, first time in chat. Mercedes Lane, that baby never even grew her first crop of hair. Oh, I've never heard of her. Oh, and welcome, by the way. Hold on, I want to see if it'll let me do it. Oh, it did. Good. Okay. Yeah, no, I took a screenshot of that so that way I can look her up. I've never heard of Mercedes Lane. So sad though. It truly is. Yeah. Just like I'm not gonna say the name, and I'm sure everybody will figure it out, but and I am not a Wells sympathizer, so that's not why I'm saying this. But when I saw certain people who were originally creators, one in particular, befriending the Wells. Uh, he had gotten very close to Candace, and the money that came into his pockets was astronomical. Okay. Um, and again, I do not support Candace. I am not supportive at all. But it wasn't done for the right reasons. There was nothing talked about Summer during those chats. If anything, you would hear this certain person say, "This isn't about Summer." You know what I mean? Or um, um, what was there was something else. Summerwell's looking ass. That pissed me off. Pissed me off. I heard that and I was like, the hell? How can one say that about a missing child? No. And, shame on Candace because she cared more about her high school crush thing that she had going on than she did her own daughter. Okay. She was okay with this person basically being beyond disrespectful to her missing child. So, I mean, there was so much wrong right then and there. Okay. There's a lot to unpack there, and that would take like a 5-day live for that, and I can't do that. But that's my point. Like, you go into a missing persons cases, you talk to the family. That's great. You want to get answers. That's great. I actually admire the people that can do that. I could not imagine doing an interview. Maybe one day I will. I don't know, but I could never imagine doing an interview with a family member and keeping my cool, especially, if I know certain things or if I feel a certain way. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they keep their nerves about them, keep their wits about them, and, not accidentally say the wrong thing. I mean, these people, I mean, I try my best to be objective as possible, but some of these creators are really good at it. They can talk to these families, let them voice their opinions, and whether they agree or disagree, they don't really let it show. Like, if they're frustrated and stuff, you don't see that in them. And I truly do admire people that can do that. Um, there, what is her name? Slug Sleuth. Oh, I'm so bad with remembering names. Sleuth Mom, Slug Sleuth. There's two of them that sound familiar, and they both do it, and they're both really good at it. Um, and they can talk to these people and have them on their panel. And I remember it was Kaylee's Kaylee Jones case, and they were talking to the adoptive parents. And I remember listening to one of the lives and seeing how upset everybody in chat was getting. I had got upset too, and they were just so objective and respectful and didn't let their opinions get the best of them. They like, that's what I'm saying. When people are doing that stuff, that's great. But with these people did with Candace, when they originally had their own channels and then they went and befriended her and wound up making a shit ton of money off of Candace, not just Summer, but off of Candace too. And they just kept piling it in, piling in. Then people purposely went and friended her and then created channels to put her out there. Like, who the hell does that? I would never in a million years think that somebody would actually do something that like that until I saw it happen. And that was wrong. It was wrong because, yes, you've got this person here who truly thinks that you're her friend, but it was even more wrong is because you did this off of a missing child. You never had the intention, no matter how you try to play it, the intentions were never about Summer being found. The intentions were never good. They had nothing to do about Summer. And the reason we know that is because we've seen it. We've seen how these people said, oh, well, I heard this, I saw that, I knew this. and put it all over the internet. For what? Because it got that click, that view, that like, and eventually the money in the pocket. And that is so incredibly wrong. I'm not saying that, we can't trust the people around these cases that we work. We have the right to agree to disagree on anything. There may be, a case where I feel the parents are guilty and you feel they're not, and that would be okay. We're all welcome to our own opinion, but that doesn't mean we have to fight about it. It doesn't mean we have to make big displays on YouTube about it, and have like this battle royale back and forth of like, well, this creator this and that creator that and blah, blah, blah. No, we can simply agree to disagree. And that's the way it should be. There should be nobody going real life. There shouldn't be videos solely talking crap about another sub because they disagreed with you, or about another creator because they disagreed with you. That's not what this is supposed to be about. This is supposed to be about bringing awareness to these kids, whether they're missing or they're already gone and they're just needing their justice, or because their remains are still out there. The fact of the matter is they're the ones that need the help. They're the ones that need the voice, and they're the victims. When you look at Harmony, I know there are some people out there who sympathize with her mom. But unfortunately, she kind of falls into the same category as Don and Candace, as Billy Joe, because at the end of the day, and as Tyler and other people, Corey, so many, because at the end of the day, those were the ones that were responsible for these kids. Their lifestyle choices is what put these kids into whatever position they are right now, whether they're somewhere hidden out or whether they're no longer here with us. It was their lifestyle choices that made that possible. Yes, I understand Harmony's mom cleaned up her act a little too late, right? There was talk about, like Candace and Don getting their lives together and, possibly, fixing their lives up. But again, little too late. What they're doing now, fine, that's great, but it's not going to bring these kids back. I know in my heart, and trigger warning, but I know in my heart that Harmony had to live in the utmost amount of fear. Like, I can feel that baby's pain. I can feel the terror that she lived through. Like, I feel it in my heart. And what made it so much worse is because it came from her dad. The one that was supposed to love and protect her. But the fact of the matter is, her mom and her dad, their lifestyle choices is what wound up putting Harmony and her brother in the position that they are. And unfortunately, that cost Harmony her life. Just like Quinton. The lifestyle choices that Leilani chose and his biological father chose is what put him in the position he is in. And the choices that Billy Joe made is what put him in the position he is, and now he is no more. So yes, I am not sympathetic to them. There's a lot of them I wish would spend the rest of their lives in prison, haunted by these kids' faces, because there's no excuse. And I'm not coming down on them because there's, addiction there or anything like that. All I'm saying is all the shoulda, coulda, wouldas don't matter at this point because they're not going to bring anybody back. So yeah, that's great. Clean up your act, do what you got to do, but you still need to be responsible and have accountability for putting those kids in that position to begin with. And that's just how I feel. And like I said, we don't have to agree. We all have our own opinion. But I'm never going to sit there and, start a battle royale with another creator or a sub because we don't see eye to eye on these cases that we cover, because we are all entitled to our own opinion. And we all have a soft spot for certain people for whatever reason. And, that's okay. But I'm also not going to, be quiet about it because I want to get my point out there because I'm hoping that I can open some eyes to some of these cases. Some of these cases are cut and dry. Some of them are just a complete rabbit hole, and that stuff has to go out there. Just like I believe Kylie was a complete cover up. I think a lot of people got away with a lot of stuff there. And it's heartbreaking because she'll never get justice unless guilt really creeps up on somebody and they step forward. But I don't think that'll happen. But I'm just saying, we all have our own opinions. Some people believe what happened to Kylie was real. Some people don't. Okay, hold on a second. I want to catch up in chat. And thank you for anybody coming in, watching replay. Okay, let's see here. I couldn't in the beginning, but let me tell you, I work in the background on the phone with detectives and families. My first mom on panel was Austin Lauer's mother. She popped up in my live up on panel. Oh, wow. Very nice. Then I've had Lisa Key, another one of my cases on panel, but I do a lot better on the phone. LOL. Yes. Same. Bella, being complacent is wrong. Yeah. Let's see here. Kyle Horman's mom. I'll never forget the convo I had with her. I'll tell you sometime. Still eats at me. Okay. Yeah, I don't know who that is either. Screenshot that one. Bella, neither of her parents were there for her. They were worse parents, and that wasn't fair to that sweet little girl. Oh, absolutely. I agree. True kind. Facts. Summer Oakley, Serenity, Cody, so many more. Yes. I'm trying to remember. I want to say it was on Annie Elise's 10 to Life. She had a dad on there, and it was a case I wasn't following. And he had cleaned up his act. And then I think like a week later or two, they found out that his little one was gone. I want to say that was Serenity, but I am not 100% sure. And he did seem really torn up, genuinely torn up that this is what happened. And he was staying away because he was trying to give her and her mom a fair shake because he knew he wasn't good enough for her. But unfortunately, in that case, too, it was just a little too late, and it's heartbreaking because at the end of the day, whether or not these parents or whoever had these kids were suffering, the kids suffered more. I have nothing nice to say about Crystal. She is a piece of work. Crystal. True Crime with Sunshine. Who's Crystal? Sorry. I'm really bad at these names. Oops. Bella, addiction is not an excuse. Absolutely. Kids come first and are a privilege to have in your own life, and to hurt them is the worst crime there is to me. Absolutely. Yes. Ali Lunta, thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here, Ali. Harmony had a family that loved her, and that state tore her from then and put her with a monster. The only reason that she was reported missing was because Crystal had been offered money to adopt her. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I didn't know that. Yeah, when I found out about that with Harmony, oh, that broke my heart. That made me so mad. I personally believe that, well, the judge, I believe, is retired now, but he should have been kicked off and he should have been held accountable too. That just, there's so many failures around Harmony. It literally, makes me so angry. Nope, here for the missing and the justice, not drama. That's why my circle is small. Absolutely true crime with Sunshine. Absolutely. And you know what? That's what I'm saying. Like, we may be small potatoes in the big scheme of things, but I feel like our work is so important. There's some channels out there that got, a small amount of subscribers, large amount of subscribers, and it shouldn't matter as long as things are being done right. And as long as these faces are relevant. Quite honestly, there's so many missing children around the world that even if we took every creator on YouTube, every sub on YouTube, we still wouldn't have enough people to cover each case, because that's how fast they go missing. And it's absolutely horrifying to think that that's the reality we live in, you know? It's so scary. Bella, True Crime with Sunshine. A small circle sometimes is best and most productive circle. Yes, absolutely. You know, I don't care. Like, I am so excited I got my community wall, only because it makes it easier to share other creators' stuff, because it was so hard. I was trying to share it. Yeah, I'd have to share it through Facebook because I couldn't put it through YouTube. But I'm not on Facebook much. So I was so happy that I finally got my community wall, because it makes it so much easier. And like I said, I think by just doing little things and popping up whatever we can just to bring awareness, even if it's not an update, or if the update is there is no update, the child was being talked about. You know, it's sad to see when, like, I'm sure we've all done it, who has a channel where you go and you look at your content, like on your YouTube studio, and it'll show you like how many views everything got. And then you have one that never got a view, or one that only got one view. And I know for me personally, I'll sit back and be like, well, how come this person didn't get a view? You know what I mean? Um, and it, you know, that's what I'm saying. Anybody that comes and watches, whether they say anything, whether they hit the like, don't hit the like, hit the unlike, or whatever, the fact that they clicked on the video, the fact that they saw that face, it's still a purpose. That face is still out there, no matter who it may be, whether it is a face from, you know, a John Doe or a Jane Doe from 30 years ago, or an Amber Alert that happened within the last 24 hours. Um, just like, you know, little Lucian still hasn't been found. And ugh, the frustration around that case too. My frustration though was with law enforcement. I was one of the many people who called and really tried to push and get law enforcement to look here, look there, and you know, it went in one ear and out the other, and it was horrible. That was like the first time I had ever called anywhere, and the runaround I got was just wow. And you know, I've called in on other cases too, but I think the reason that phone call in particular, um, really bothered me is because we are not talking about a simple child. We are talking about a little child who has special needs, who is more vulnerable. And it was still brushed off like it was nothing. And man, that was soul crushing. Because it was like you were calling in to say you found a pair of missing shoes on the street. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just didn't get that feeling of sincerity on the other end of the phone. You didn't get that feeling of urgency that we all have when we are looking, you know, and seeing that Lucian's still missing. And unfortunately, I feel like there's a lot of cases out there that are like that. And I get it, these guys are overwhelmed. And they probably get tips coming in left and right and have all types of stuff coming at them, and they have to take every tip seriously. But when you can hear and feel the disingenuousness, or I don't even know if that's the right word, but you don't hear that passion on the other end, and you realize you probably just wasted 20 minutes on somebody that truly didn't care about what you had to say. And ultimately, you feel defeated because that means nobody listened. Were they listening? Sure, but did they actually hear you? No. And then that means that that child didn't get taken seriously. So that is extremely heartbreaking when that happens, and it kind of makes you, you know, question if you're making a difference or not. And it did that for me. But then I realized, you know what? Every time somebody clicks on a video, it's awareness, and that's making a difference, because it is one more view that they had before. You know what I mean? Um, it's one more person that decided to take their time to look at that person, that child or that adult or that case, however you want to word it, got attention that they didn't have before, whether it's the first time or it's the 40th time, it doesn't matter. I wish it would be equal for all of them, but that would be in a perfect world. In a perfect world, we wouldn't have a true crime community, though, right? Because we wouldn't have to worry about this happening. But yeah, so all of us. That's why I said I hope my channel one day inspires somebody else to make a channel. I started from my cell phone. Eventually, I saved up enough money to get myself just a dinky little tablet. And I do little by little what I can, but I'm still know that I'm putting these kids out there and making them relevant. And I hope that that gives encouragement to somebody else to do it too, and to do it however they need to do it, whatever's the right way for them, because then that means somebody else cares. That means somebody else is spreading awareness. And that's what this community is supposed to be about. At least that's how I feel. It should be about awareness. It should be about helping the missing, helping the victims get justice and be found. And that should be the main goal here. And we got to try and drown out all the other buffoonery and noise that goes around it and try to stay focused. And I know that stuff will never stop, but we shouldn't stop either. We should just keep pushing harder as possible as we can. Okay, hold on. Oh, Crystal's Harmony's mom. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Bella. His Sally in chat. What do you all think about that video, which you also reposted with that child spirit? I don't know what to call it, but I can't get it off of my mind. Yes. I saw that on True Crime with Eve, EBP, and I was blown away. I'm visually impaired, so the fact that I was able to see it, I was amazed and blown away. And I don't know where the babysitter lives in conjunction to Quinton's house, but yes, I do think that was Quinton's spirit running. I truly do. That is phenomenal that was caught. I don't think I would ever forget that. I know some people said it looked like he was running to the babysitter's house. But like I said, I don't know where she lives in proximity to him, so I don't know. But yes, that was definitely a child spirit running. I absolutely do believe that. I truly do. I've never seen anything like that before. Maybe I should have brought it up. Oh no. Of course, that's fine. Oh no. Yeah, I do believe that. I mean, I feel like I want to say I feel like that was his way of, I don't know, maybe just showing that he's still there. Because it was so fast and it looked like he literally was like running and then just turned the corner. Was he running to the babysitter? Was he running away from something horrific in that house? Is he trapped there? I don't know. But I do believe it was him. I do. And, I know a lot of people have their difference of opinion of what happened to him. And, I hope I'm wrong with what I feel. But when I saw Quinton's picture, I knew right away he was no longer with us. Looking at him, I just got this feeling that he wasn't there. Then when I heard about the time gap and Leilani started speaking, I knew she was responsible for something. I personally think, and trigger warning, I personally think that he had a violent death, maybe in the bathtub. I don't know. Whether or not she remembers it, I don't know. Whether or not it was her, or if it was Danny or whoever, I'm not sure. But something horrific happened to him. And then to just get discarded like garbage. Ugh. Like, I don't know what's worse when I hear about a child being discarded in a septic tank or uh, a trash can. Like it's just like I can't ever wrap my head around that. To me, it's just it's like the ultimate I don't know, like the ultimate betrayal. Like that they thought so little of these kids to do them the way they did, and then to officially let their resting place be a trash bin or a toilet. Like that hurts my heart so much. It truly does. I didn't follow the Evelyn Boswell case, uh, but when it come out, what happened to her, uh, my heart broke. My stomach hurt when I heard that because wow, I just I can't imagine. You know, even if I wasn't a mom myself, the things that we see and hear, I I couldn't imagine having that happen to a child. Like or just sitting by and watching that happen. I mean, we cover some pretty horrific cases, and it it is just so heartbreaking. I watch two channels. One is called Sharing Their Stories with Audrey, and she is absolutely amazing. She's another one. I don't know how she keeps her composure when she talks about these cases. Oh, I don't know how she does it. So much props to her for that. And then there's another channel called Suffer the Little Children. Her too. I don't know how she can keep her composure. And they tell these children's stories, and they're the reason, they're the inspiration. I had to try and start doing it myself. And it's really hard because you try to tell these stories and you try to keep your composure, but when you're looking these things up and you're saying these things and repeating it, it tugs at you, you know, to think like, holy shit, somebody actually did this. And there are so many horrific cases out there. And there's a lot that we don't even know about. Unfortunately, when lockdown happened, because I know we can't say the word, the first thing that I thought of was, oh my gosh, there's going to be so many kids that are going to be hurt and unalived. I always just, my heart was so sad and heavy. And that was the first thing I thought about. I didn't think about, well, damn, now, school's closed down, blah, 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 whatever. Nope. I was like, every safe haven that those children had just got taken. And I firmly believe that 10, 15 years from now, we won't know the totality of what the lockdown took on these children. I really do think that there is I really do think that there is a bunch of kids that none of us will ever know about because I believe there was probably a lot of home births. And so, if nobody knew there was a baby born, they don't know that baby existed. And unfortunately, they will never get justice because nobody even knew that they were around to begin with. I think a lot of that may have happened. And that is truly heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking. Um, and to hear the numbers that, are just coming out about how backlogged the agencies are, and because of the lockdown and stuff like that. And all the cases that we knew about before lockdown happened, yeah, I can't even wrap my head about that. Like, there's no way we'll ever know the totality that the lockdown had on these children. I truly believe that. Okay, hold on. I want to check. Bella. It is ultimate betrayal, and from the ones that are supposed to love and protect them, that just kills me. Yes, absolutely. It's almost like a copycat Megan. Yeah. Some children are safer when they are away from their parents than being on lockdown from C with their parents. Yes, I agree. I agree. And No, I'm doing a live. Oh, well, I just woke up. Okay. 12:44. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, I I don't, like I said, there's you know, some of these cases, it's like whether lockdown impacted them or not. Some of these cases, it's like they went from one bad place to another. Like if you look at the mm, Turpin children, they got rescued from a house of horrors and thrown right into another one, and that was heartbreaking. And unfortunately, it's like you never know. You have a bad position, but were they safer there than where they got sent to, and vice versa? It's just horrible. I just hope that one day our world will come to where we don't have to have these conversations. We don't have to have a true crime community around missing children, or hurt children or murdered children. That would be amazing. I know it's not a reality, but it would be amazing if that one day was, something that could actually happen. And all we can do right now is just keep their faces out there. Uh, there are channels out there who do cover some of these other kids that we don't see all over the feeds. And it's because, they're doing it the right way. These channels are covering these kids, and they may not get a lot of views or anything like that, but they're doing it the right way. They're being honorable. They have morals, and they're doing right by these children. So if you see channels out there covering a case you haven't heard before, or a case that doesn't get much attention, give them a like, give them the attention, because you know what? Those guys are trying. They're trying to do things the right way. They're trying to be advocates for these kids. And like I said, I hope that at some point somebody will be inspired enough to create their own channel and put missing kids out there, try or unidentified John Does, Jane Does, or missing persons out there, and try to just bring awareness to the cases. I started off doing my own little flyers on my channel, and they were like 10-second flyers. And then they turned into shorts and a little longer videos. And now I'm trying my best to work on actual, cases, like how some of the other channels do. And that's why I call it their tragedy. I've only done 2 of them, but that's why I call it their tragedy, because even though if they're not here and their cases have been solved, their story still matters. They still matter. Their stories need to be heard. They deserve to be heard. Just like all of these missing kids, they deserve to be out there too. They deserve to have their tragedies told, in hopes that it will bring awareness. Maybe it'll help somebody else see something that they didn't recognize beforehand. And then it like dawned on them, like, oh no, you know what? I do know that. And then maybe they can help save a child. So we all help in our own way. Everybody being here is helping in its own way. You know what I mean? You're here because you care. And that's what this is supposed to be about. It's because we care. I just realized that my window, the cats destroyed the curtain, and it looks like a dinosaur mouth. Sorry. I don't know if you can see it. It looks like a T-Rex mouth. Sorry. It's a little bit of a giggle. I know. But it's something we are passionate about. And so we may be a small group of people, and we may be a small community, but we're a community that is helping and doing things for the right reason. And like I said, however we do it, as long as we're honoring these victims and keeping them the purpose, then that's the best thing we can do. That's how we drown out the noise of the people trying to muddy up these cases, trying to line their pockets with them. I mean, honestly, we're never going to be able to stop them. And I get that. But we can make it a little harder for them to reach more kids. We can do right by these children and put them out there in the right aspect. and get their stories told the way they should be and be able to advocate for them. You know, a lot of people have different opinions on whether or not Summer is still with us. And whether we believe she's here or not, she does have brothers, just like Harmony has a brother, and Cody has siblings, and so does Quinton, and so does Oakley, and so does Ariel Sellers. There are so many kids out there who still have siblings. And so we're not just fighting for these kids, we're also fighting for their siblings, because then that way they know that even if the people that loved them were the ones to betray them, that there's other people that cared enough to fight for their sister or brother. And that's what we're doing. You know, they may never know about it, and they may know about it. We never know. The way the internet is, by the time these kids are old enough to be on it, they'll be able to find anything. So they'll see that somebody fought for Harmony. Somebody's fighting for Summer. Somebody's fighting for Cody. Somebody's fighting for Harmony. They'll see these things. Somebody's fighting for Lena. You know, all of these kids, somebody is fighting for them. You know, Summer's brothers will see that somebody fought for her. A whole bunch of people fought for Summer too. You know, they're going to come across the channels that really did some damage, but more importantly, they're going to see that there are people out there that truly did care enough for their sibling to fight for justice, to keep their face out there, and to keep saying their name. And honestly, that's going to be one gift that nobody could ever take away from the victim or their siblings. They will know that no matter how unloved their sibling may have felt or have been by the people that were supposed to protect them, that there were strangers out there who loved them enough to fight for them. And I think that is incredibly important. And even for the kids that don't have any siblings out there, they know that there's people fighting for them. Their spirit knows. And the more we make them matter, it's the best gift we can give them too. Some of these kids were done so dirty in their life, and in their disappearance and in their demise. And it's up to us to make sure that we make their lives matter and make sure that we know that they're loved and that we love them and that we spread the awareness there, so then that way they're out there and they're being loved. It may not be the love that they needed when they were here, but it's the love that they have from our small community who truly does care. And I think that is incredibly important. So very important. Okay, hold on. I want to. Bella. Hey, Sally, my Jack, you came to me through recommendations, and I am so glad. Oh, well, thank you, Bella. I appreciate you being here. Yes, because most protective laws that we have are from past tragedies and in hopes of trying to prevent the best we can others like them. Absolutely. I worry we may never know what exactly happened to Summer, but I will never give up hope. I agree. Same. I agree 100% the same. I don't think we'll ever know. Unfortunately, I think there's a lot of cases like that. And, you know, it's so hard because Summer kind of reminds me of a combination of Madeline McCann and JonBenet Ramsey, because both cases, you have some answers, but not all of it. You know kind of what happened, but you don't. You know what I mean? And you're just kind of left questioning everything and wondering everything. And unfortunately, I think Summer might be down that line. I hope I'm wrong, you know, but maybe with technology the way it is, maybe one day we will have all the answers. Maybe the boy in the box from so many years ago will be found. Look, the little boy in Las Vegas suitcase, nobody thought for sure that he would ever be identified. And the little girl, it gives you hope though, you know, the little girl that's in the that was found in the dumpster, and she was like wrapped in the blankets. They think she's from out of the country, and they actually had put up a oh, what is it called? A sketch of her, and nobody has come forth. But maybe one day. I mean, that's really all we can hope. I mean, we're seeing cases that are solved from like 40, 50 years ago. And we're seeing Jane Does and John Does getting identified from like 30 something years ago. So all we can hope is that with, you know, the more technology is advancing, that it'll help solve more cases and hopefully bring all these kids home. And like I said, whatever that may mean, whether it's, you know, them being brought back or their remains, either way. And all we can do is pray and hope that one day that this will all end, and that one day we won't have to have these conversations, and that, you know, these kids are found, and we just got to keep bringing awareness. I think it's just so important. And like I said, whether it is for the victim themselves, obviously it's always for the victim themselves, but even if we can bring something to their siblings, showing that somebody didn't give up on them, that somebody knew something was wrong and they had to figure it out, and they needed justice for their sibling, or they just needed to make sure that, you know, their sibling got the coverage that they needed. That's important. It's important to know that there's people out there who do care, that not everybody's out there to make a quick buck. Not everybody out there is selfish and conniving. Not everybody out there can't be trusted. I mean, yes, there are some, but there's some of us who can be. There's some of us who will fight. There's some of us who will keep putting those names out there and those faces out there. And there are some of us that will keep saying those stories no matter how hard it is on us, because they matter. And then that's what this is about. These kids matter. Everything matters, whether they're here or not, whether it happened 15 years ago or this morning. It doesn't matter. All of them matter. I am hoping there are answers coming soon with the JonBenet case from familial DNA. Yes, I did hear something about that, and my fingers are super crossed. With my work, we depend on DNA for our cases, and the advances are amazing, but slow getting the testing down because of the backlog. Oh yeah, I can only imagine. Yeah, I can't even think about how many cases are probably on the backlog right now. Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying, like, fingers crossed, even if it's not in our lifetime, at some point down the line, hopefully, you know, all these cases will get solved. Really, I hope so. Let's see. I have to actually start getting ready. And I want to thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I appreciate your company and your comments and everybody talking with me, and, you know, just being here. Thank you, everybody that's going to watch the replay. Much appreciated as well. Sorry again about the last minute live, but I didn't even know if I'd have time to do it. I'm happy I did, though. I am so glad that you guys were here and we were able to talk about this. And I hope to see you again soon. Okay, everyone, have a great day. And again, everybody on the replay, thank you so much for being here. Let's keep these kids' names out there, their faces out there. Let's keep them relevant. Let's keep them relevant. Let's make sure they don't stay hidden, and let's not let the bad guys win. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much for what you're doing. Thank you so much, Bella, and thank you so much for being here. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.